So, hello everybody, welcome back to another episode. I'm back with Nitin today. So, Nitin is a vegan and a yoga teacher. So, thank you very, very much, Nitin, for joining in. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you very much.
Same here, Lakshit.
Yes. So, before we begin, Nitin, it would be great if you could, give an introduction about yourself, what you do, and how did you get into yoga? So, yeah.
Okay, so my name is Nitin Goyal. I'm a yoga and wellness coach, and I got into yoga about 4 years back. So at that time, actually, I was living in Bombay, and I was giving auditions to become an actor. I was working as an actor part time, and so I used to do a lot of workouts at that time, given the nature of my work. And then I started dealing with a shoulder injury, and which no doctor was able to figure out what it was, and it was very frustrating period. 2-3 years were very frustrating for me, and at that time, my girlfriend, who is now my wife, Soumya, who was into yoga at that time. So she was doing her teacher's training at the Yoga Institute Mumbai. And so she suggested me that why don't you just join one of the weekend programs, just short-term programs, just improve your life, understand the philosophy of yoga and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So I said, why not? And all of these things have always fascinated me, meditation and other philosophical parts of yoga, but I could never put them together, organize them together and how to go about understanding these philosophies. So when I went to the Yoga Institute, I did this 21 days better living course. Very simple course, but introduced me to the philosophical aspect of yoga other than the asana and the physical aspect of yoga. And then I was hooked. One session and I was hooked. And then I've never looked back since. So I went on to do another 7 days program after that, and then went on to do my teacher's training and got into yoga full time and left everything else behind.
Mm-hmm. And so you're doing yoga now, like full time?
Yeah. I'm a full-time yoga teacher. Yes.
Okay. And so and do you miss that key? I wanted to be an actor. Now I'm doing a yoga teacher. Does that just give a, which do you feel sometimes?
Not really. So now the good thing is that, no, of course that sometimes that remembering the nostalgia is there, of course, but not really. The kind of work that I'm doing, the kind of, when you touch someone's lives, when you improve someone's life or help or be a little part of that improvement in their health or, in their mental health or physical health, then that is something else entirely. That joy that you experience to be able to help someone, it's something else entirely. So I love my work. And like I was earlier saying that now that we have social media and video platforms, so that kida and that thing of being an actor, so I'm trying to express that through my work is still related to yoga. If you look at my Instagram these days, the work that I'm doing, the content that I'm putting out, you can see the actor in me is still there. I have not killed that actor, that is still there, but still connected through yoga.
Yeah, I think that's true. I just got to know about you through reels and watching your videos, and that's was the reason when I connected with you totally. And so
that's great.
So yeah, so when you like the first time you said when you first time did it, you were hooked to it. So yeah, what is yoga like? According to you, it changed your life, but to put it in a proper term or put it in a proper way, how would you describe yoga?
See, there are so many ways to describe yoga, and every teacher or every school of yoga will describe yoga in their own way, because yoga is much, it's a vast science. Okay. But if you look at it very, in a scientific way, in the way that the words are mentioned, yoga means yuj. It comes from the Sanskrit and the Vedas. Yuj means union. Okay. So once again, I'm talking very technical in a very technical term. So yuj means union. Union of what? Typically we say body, mind, and soul. But what does it mean? It just simply means just being your true self. Now, what is your true self? It doesn't mean that I'm being my true self. I'm being Nitin Goyal. That is my true self. That is not. It is still a character or a life that I'm living in this lifetime. But that is not my true soul. That is not my true self. My true self, your true self, we are all one. So realizing that nature. Okay, so the one of the biggest or the very profound text of yoga, the Yoga Sutras, in that the definition of yoga is given yoga chitta vritti nirodha, meaning it is the cessation or putting a stop to the mental fluctuations, the thoughts that we have. Even sitting in meditation and thinking, okay, this is my true self, is a thought in itself, right? So when we put an end to all these mental fluctuations, vrittis, the thoughts, mental modifications, that's when the yoga happens actually. That is the true essence of yoga, sitting in your true self. So once again, it's a very technical definition, but there's no other way to explain yoga. You can, otherwise you look around and you look over the internet and you will find several other definitions of yoga. And of course, there can be milder and more gross explanations. But in true essence, that is what yoga is. All schools of yoga, they have this same goal. They just have different paths leading to that same goal. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it totally does. It totally does. And what does meditation play a role in somebody's life? Like, and how can meditation change somebody's life? So two questions.
I think.
Yeah.
So how can
sure, I'll come back on that. So how can you meditation help? And is meditation really something which can change somebody's life?
Okay. So meditation is definitely something that helps. And see, meditation is a word that is thrown around these days very casually. Like, oh, you need to meditate, or oh, I meditate. But like I said, if you come back to the Yoga Sutras, there is a path laid out, which is called the Ashtanga Yoga, the 8 paths, 8 limbs of yoga. Okay, so you have the Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. So the last parts, the Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. So the Dhyan is the second last part actually. So Dhyan is meditation. Meditation is a byproduct of all of the process, all of the work that you have laid out on your path of yoga. And then meditation happens. You can say in a very simplistic term, if I want to put it, meditation is heightened concentration or deepened concentration. So when we actually meditate these days, casually throwing around the word, oh, I meditate, concentrating. We have an object, whether it's a sound, it's a smell, it's a memory, whatever is our object of focus, we are concentrating on that object, and rest we're shutting out, right? So it's a deep concentration, it's a yogic concentration. And when that deepens, meditation happens as a byproduct. So like I said, so first of all, this is the actual definition of meditation, or I just wanted to clarify that. Now, concentration is very helpful. Okay, so meditation takes a long years to develop to get to that stage, but the concentration, the process of getting to meditation is very helpful. Like I said, if you are concentrated, if you are focused, because nowadays we are so distracted, we have so much content on our fingertips. Like you just keep on scrolling and you're constantly, intaking information. Constantly taking information. How can you expect your mind to be still at what you want to do or achieve in life, in any field, in any aspect of your life? So when you take some time in your day to sit still and concentrate, then you sharpen your mind, you improve your life, because you feel more focused, not only just work wise, but in your relationships, you're more aware, you're more present in life, in your day-to-day moments, in your you're just more mindful.
Okay, so how is for example, if I am a very new person, say I have done yoga and I do meditation, all of that every day, right? It's just a question.
Again, I lost you there.
So my question to you now, Nitin, is if anybody wants to get into the practice of yoga, if anybody wishes to do yoga or meditation, any such practices, what's the right step to begin it with?
Well, the right step is always to learn under a qualified teacher, and seek out an institution or let's say a gurukul. Okay, we had this gurukul parampara in our ancient system. So look out or reach out to an institution which is well established in the science or in the art of yoga. they've been doing, and they've been doing their research. So for example, when I went to the Yoga Institute, it's in now more than 100 years. So when I was there, it was completing 100 years, but now it must be, I think, 104 years or so since it has been established. It is the world's oldest organized yoga institute, and they've done tremendous research regards to yoga and its practices and its effect on our health, both physical and mental. So I'm not saying just go to that institute, but you can reach out whatever is available locally. And if an institution is not available, then you reach out to a teacher who has been doing it for some years and have their own experience to share with you. Because if you just look around, if you go about on the internet and just looking at the posture and the physical practice of yoga, which is not, I'm not saying it is a very shallow reason to start practicing. Whatever gets you started on this journey is a great thing, because as long as you start, you will eventually be attracted to the philosophical aspect, the meditation aspect, and the mind aspect of yoga as well, not just the physical. So whatever gets you started, take the first step, whether join a class that is locally available to you, reach out a teacher that you feel a calling, from within. Like there are instances when you are looking for a yoga teacher and then you feel this connection with this particular person, with this teacher. Our teachers used to say, when the student is ready, the teacher present themselves, or I'm messing this up, but if you know this thing, right, when the teacher appears, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So similarly, if you are at that point in your life where you need or you want yoga to be a part of your life, you are ready and your teacher will appear. You just need to take that first step to start looking. So that's what I would suggest.
Okay. So just one last question I would like to put up here is, what would be your message, or if you would like to add anything before we end this up, please go ahead.
Okay, my only message would be, because I saw that you are a vegan as well, and a vegan activist and enthusiast as well, and so am I and my wife. So in yoga, the first philosophy or the first thing that we learn is ahimsa, non-violence. That is the first component of the yoga practice on which it is laid, right? Non-violence in our thoughts, words, and action. So it would be my request, like if you want to experience yoga in true sense, start by practicing ahimsa before anything else, before your asana practice, before your meditation practice, just ahimsa. And it's very easy to practice ahimsa towards other human beings. You're like, oh, you are my brother, we are one, and it is very easy to do that. But look around and reflect back on your lifestyle and see, am I doing himsa to other beings, mainly animals? Am I doing himsa to Mother Earth? So try to incorporate the practice of ahimsa in your life, and that will actually reflect onto your mindset and in your life. So yeah, that would be my message.
Totally. So
Go vegan.
Go vegan. Yeah. So thank you very much again for being here and joining in. Small
Sure,
session,
no
wonderfully, a lot of things you added up here. Thank you very, very much. It was a pleasure to have you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Same here, Lakshit.